On today's episode, we are working on a 2005 Scag Turf Tiger 61-inch, the 29 horsepower DFI Kawasaki. And we are going to be attempting to change the muffler because, as you can see, it's been welded up a few times here. It's been welded up a few times there, and it's got another crack. Exhaust leaks. We got the updated model muffler for it. It's slightly different. This is an oval. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. This is a round one, so it should come out through this hole, possibly. I don't know. But we're gonna start getting into this and seeing what's what. So, as you can see, different style muffler, but I looked up the exact part number for that, and this is what it gave me. It should work. Flanges look the same. You got two bolts that go right to the block, and then you got the 4 manifold bolts. So you can see those two right there, one there, and one there, and then you got 2 over there and 2 over there. Those are metric studs. I believe they're M6. Don't quote me on that. I couldn't find them, so I had to order some engine ones from a different vehicle. We've also got a decent amount of hours on this unit, 5,120. So let's see if we can start cranking down on some of these here. So apparently, I thought that we could take those 2 bolts, loosen them up, and they would be short enough that once they're loose, I could kind of lean the muffler back, roll it out, and we're good. Nope, that's not the case. So we've got to work on loosening up this main frame and laying it back a little bit, because as you can see, it's tight in there. That bolt is hiding right behind that. They're 12 mil, easy to come off. I was actually shocked that all the stud nuts came off. I wire brushed the shit out of them, sprayed some PB on them, and they all loosened up. You can see that one's not in great shape. We got all 4 of those off, so we got to start working on getting this off. We got 2 bolts up there, 1 on each side. Looks like we got a handful over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, maybe 2 down there. So we got like 6 on each side, and hopefully we could just roll it back without having to mess with any of this other stuff. Just enough to get everything out. So we'll see. So we got the PTO pulled off, disconnected it here, pulled a little pin there. We'll give it an adjustment once we put it back on. We'll check the air gap and stuff. You got to do it through these slots here. Another thing that you guys should check once you're in here and you have the belts removed. I already did the bearings, but you have a double stack of bearings here and a double stack of bearings here. Now what you do is you take it from the furthest point and see if it'll wiggle forward and backwards. This one does not because it's been changed. And this one doesn't either. And you can rotate it, see if it's got any hard spots, which is a good way to show wear, because what happens if they don't move a lot, they only move like this, so it'll wear one spot of the bearing. This one actually already has a hard spot, so it'll move easily all the way, but you can see that it locks itself in the middle right there, and it stays there. So it's already forming a hard spot, so I should probably change those in the next 100, 200 hours. You can see it just sits right there, because as it's tensioning it, it's only moving about that much. So they wear out, they're cheap. 2 of them, you press them out, press new ones in, you're done. So we've got 4 bolts here. We're going to take those off and see what we can do from there. Alright, so we got an update. 2 bolts, 2 bolts, 1 under there. So 5 there, 5 on the other side. 1, 2, take those off. 1, 2, 3, 4, take those off. You can slide this out just enough to get them bolts out. I already got that one out over there. Where is it? Where is it? You can't really see it, but it's like right over there. It's already out. This one's almost out here. Just got a little bit left. You can see that there's actually a gap there now, which is kind of nice. So I should be able to take that out and slide this back and slam that new one on. Well, a success. A little bit of prying and it came right off. So you can see that the exhaust was blowing out through the top and the bottom there, judging by how dark that is. Same thing on this side. You can see how dark it is over here. It's blowing out through the top and the bottom. So we're gonna clean up the threads, wire wheel them, or wire brush them, whatever, get those new gaskets on there, and start the reassembly. So we got the brackets all cleaned, we got the studs cleaned up the mounting flanges. Here is the part number for this muffler. Focus. Good enough. It is different, but I did a dry fit. It does fit on there, although the exhaust comes out this hole now instead of up here, which is fine. Doesn't matter to me. But the gaskets that I ordered did not have the hard ring here in the center, and they are a different size. Don't know why, but they are slightly off. So as you can see, the bolt holes don't line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open them up a little bit. This one I might just clip off 100%, get it on there. Once it's torqued down, it should be fine. So I'm not too worried about it. Let's get after it. All modified up. I just took a little chunk out of that end and a little chunk out of that end, and that's it. It is what it is. I don't know. Part number, just that's what it came up with. That's what they sent me. We'll make it work. If it blows out, then I'll look for another set of gaskets. No big deal. All right. We're working on putting this back together. We got all our bolts put back in here. Now, let's grab the flashlight here. These studs, 15 foot-pounds according to the manual. Same thing with the 2 bolts that go in there, which that is very tight. Very tight. It's definitely a little bigger. Didn't realize it. But, hey, that's what it came with, supposedly. So 15 foot-pounds for those, 15 foot-pounds for those. We got all 4 of our bolts back into the block there. We got our 2 bolts in down there. Those are all good to go. Check your tension springs before you put new ones on. You can see this one's kind of worn out. Let's see if we can focus on it. See, it's got a groove in it. Same thing with this side. I go until they break. I have new ones in stock for this. That goes down on this stud right here. You can see there's a groove in that. Down to there. Now I definitely won't be able to do this with one hand, but you loop it on that one first, tension it, and you can usually get it onto this stud afterwards, or you use a screwdriver and slap it right on there. Let's get it. All right, we're gonna get this PTO put back in here so we can show you what's going on. I'm gonna make a separate video for checking the air gap, which is in there. I forgot what it is for these Oguros. I think it's like 8 thousandths or 10,000. I don't remember. I gotta look up the spec, but just gotta slam that on there. A little heavy for one hand, so we'll get it in a second. Make sure you don't forget to put your belt on, because you'll probably hook up all this stuff and forget to put your belt on. So make sure you do that. Now, this isn't the original clutch to this machine. I put a bigger, oversized one on because the one that was originally on this was very expensive. So I had to change a couple things, and I have the same clutch on that that's on this. So plug those two things in, get your little special clip put on there, and that's it. Oh, and we got to put our heat shield on. Let's get it wrapped up. Alright, so we let it run, do a little warm-up cycle. We're going to let it cool down, then we're going to check those, retorque them, make sure everything's all good, and that's it. That's how you do a muffler on a 29 horsepower DFI Kawasaki. Hope that helps.